Wait, do you smell that?
What? No.
It seems like love really is in the air.
Okay. Do you have a name?
What?
So I can call you mine.
Friends.
What's up, enthusiasts? Welcome back to the English Society's podcast. And I'm Erica.
This is?
Late Night Talks with EngTalks. Okay, Jay.
Yes.
Do you have any idea what we're going to talk about? Because finally, we've been back after 2 long years.
Ooh, how about the color of our shirts? It seems that both of us are wearing a shirt that has the shade of pink. What exactly does pink signify in this month?
Well, as we all know, the month of February, we're celebrating the month of love, or to be specific, the Valentine's Day.
Ooh, okay.
So, can you share some of your experiences about love?
Oh, no comment, no comment. How about you then? Do you have any experiences with love?
With love, okay, no comment too. So, as a no boyfriend since birth girly, well, I don't have much experience about love. So, to be specific, today we're going to talk about love languages.
Oh, love languages. Okay, so moving on. Our first topic today will be about love languages. What exactly is love languages? Erica, are you familiar with that?
I'm quite familiar with love languages, and as far as I know, there are 5 types of 5 languages. The quality time, the gift giving, the what do you call this one?
Act of service, yeah.
Service, words of affirmation, and the other one, last one.
Gift giving,
Gift giving.
quality time, physical touch.
Physical.
Okay.
So, what do you think, or do you have any examples about those 5?
Okay, so before we get into that, I guess, what exactly is physical touch for you?
Well, I'm not that fan of physical touch because I'm quite awkward when it comes to that. But physical touch, I think it's showing your love through, being clingy to someone you care and someone you love.
Okay, so I guess that's one of the main concepts of love languages. But other than that, there are also acts of service. Acts of service is when you try to show your love through, for example, helping someone or like trying to do something for them. And then we have the gift giving.
I'm also quite fan of this, even though I'm not that materialistic, But even the small stuffs, the efforts that they put with that small stuffs, I really appreciate that. So I think that's one of the meaning of gift giving. How about quality time? Do you have any idea about that?
Quality time is when you prefer to spend lots of time with your loved ones and would rather to spend time with them than giving gifts or other, Okay. Words of affirmation. Okay, so words of affirmation is when you try to show your love through verbal, like verbal ways of saying love.
Saying I love you.
Yes. Are you fond of words of affirmation?
Well, I think words of affirmation does not only include saying things like I love you, but sharing your care through words like I care for you, I think of you, I pray for you, even things like that. So, moving on. So, can you share what do you think is your personal love language?
My personal love language. That reminds me. I guess from my past experiences. Past experiences. Okay, so from my past experiences, I've come to a realization that I really do love to show and express my love through acts of service. I'm just like the type of person that I would love to do things for you. Like, hey, can I do this for you? I'll carry this for you and stuff like that. How about you?
Well, same thing as yours. I much appreciate acts of service because it makes me feel more like special and taken care of by someone. And I also love, doing things for somebody, especially to the people that I cared for. And also, I love words of affirmation, but not, actually saying it to somebody. I'm kind of awkward with things like that. I more on writing words of affirmation, things like that.
So, by the way, if let's say your love language is words of affirmation, is there instances where you choose to show it directly to someone or not?
Well, back then, I'm very awkward even to my family the words saying I love you, but I've learned that words of affirmation is something also important when it comes to love, because sometimes things were left unsaid, and I think it could cause problems in relationships. But you know, saying that you care to someone like me, I said, as of now, I'm more comfortable on showing my doing words of affirmation to my loved ones.
Actually, oh, that reminds me. Have you ever realized how love languages can actually show conflict through relationships?
Just like what I've said earlier, when things were not clear about, you don't know what your partner's love language or even your loved ones, it's better to know it, because you can do your best, or it's the best way they can appreciate your love. But I mean, even though you have different love languages, I think what's important is to show effort into showing that you care and showing that you love them.
Okay. So, that reminds me. Speaking of that topic, I actually have something to share you. I actually don't like sharing this, in public, but there were instances where it kind of became complicated. I have this one story of mine back when I was young. Okay, I'm kind of shy sharing this, but I'm the type of person who would like to show my love through, acts of service. And this person was really into gift giving. And, we were like going back and forth. And, hey, I want to do this for you. And then this person is like, okay, I'm going to do this for you. The thing is, there are instances where problems would arise. Like, for example, I would like to do things for them, but I feel like I'm missing out on something. I feel like I'm always on the receiving end. I feel like that kind of conflicts are really common, especially with couples with different love languages and how they would like to express their love. So, from that, I learned that even if your partner, or not even your partner, even with your friends, because you can share your ways of expressing your love language through not just your loved ones, but anybody really. Well, I've realized that even if your love languages may differ from one another, it doesn't mean that it's not worth it. Because people would be like, overlook this and that because they think that their love language is not valid because this person has another perspective of what they think is special. But I'm gonna remind you guys, it's not really that much of a problem. Even if someone has a different love language than you, remember, as long as you're trying, that means you're doing something. You should comment down below on what kind of love languages you guys have. We would like to know that as well. Yeah.
Moving on, let's see this, understanding the impacts of these on relationships. Just like what you've mentioned earlier, how does it improve communication in a relationship, not just only romantically, but also in your friends, in your family? How do you think love languages do affect relationships?
Well, I mean, if you try to identify, once you start to realize and become aware of your love languages, you kind of like have a gist of what you know on how you would express it. Moving on, we have here a list of entries about, love languages. Okay, so can you read this for me?
So we have here entries from our enthusiasts. They share their thoughts, their confessions, and advice about love. So first one is we have here an advice from G. Hi G. So she said here that to those who still can't move on from their past relationships or mutuals, I advise you to slowly accept the reality and be happy within yourself. Because it's more than happy to know that you can be happy without that person. I have been in the same situation wherein it's a one sided love, but finally, after 2 long years, I had realized that it's time for me to choose myself and give me a chance to be contented in life. I learned how to get out of people who used to be my comfort zone to give my mind of peace. And Okay, she have here an additional note. It said here that it's up to you if you would take this an advice. So she just wanted to share her experience now. So what do you think about that?
I guess I can understand her perspective, and there are instances where even if you really love the person, there are times where you do really have to let go. How about you? What's your thought on that?
I haven't been on any romantic relationships yet or any mutuals like that. But, you know, there are some instances that you'll realize that you're the only one who's loving that person. And when it comes to times like that, there are there will be times that you're denying that you're the only one who's loving that person. And when it comes to that denying that you are in a one-sided love, it will give you a more harder time. Yes, and I think she did the right thing.
This might be random, but speaking of what she said earlier about 2 long years, that's a really long time to be crushing someone. Was there an instance where you liked someone for how many long? Can you say?
How many long? I'm not sure why I don't had that crushes for too long. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I did like somebody for maybe a year. That's the longest one because yeah, I don't this phase of my life I still don't entertain this love. So how about you?
Okay. Back when I was really young, I had a crush on someone for like 4 years straight. But that time in my life, I realized so many things in my life. As I was growing, as a person, and I came to realize that when this person doesn't like you, I think it's really time to let go.
Right. But things when things were like that, it's not that easy. But yeah, that's the right thing, especially when you're in a relationship and you realize that that person doesn't love you anymore. I think it's really best to choose yourself first before, yeah.
So, for me, there would be times where people, in relationships, they would be like, oh, I would like to do this for my partner and stuff like that, that they forget to choose themselves also. So, yeah, I guess you should also prioritize yourself along with your partners. It should be balanced.
Because it would also be hard for you if you don't choose yourself first. It's hard to love somebody else if you don't learn how to love yourself first.
So, moving on from boy from dash 1
27.
Alright, the message is
A confession.
confession. Okay. It says, hi po, kaya ate short dress at 206. Crush me. Okay.
Okay. Okay, Jay, I have a question for you.
Yeah?
Do you have any crushes from your schoolmate or your classmate?
No, 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 no. Definitely. No, 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 no.
Sure about that?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not really the type of person to establish any kind of romantic relationships alongside with my classmates.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have this little fun story and awkward one I had
Okay,
when
I would like to hear it.
on when I was grade 11.
Oh, really?
You know, it was fun. It made my grade 11 life quite fun because I don't know. I'm not the type of a person to have a crush on a classmate too.
Yeah, yeah.
But I just find this guy so cute and
Oh,
very gentleman. And even though at first I was in denial too,
yeah.
when you have crushes on someone, you first deny it.
Yes. Denial. Yeah. First stage of grief.
Yes. For our next entry is from Jana, and it is also
Hi, Jana.
about I think more on self-love.
Okay.
So she said here that don't give up on your dreams and be humble on what you have and always have a positive mindset and attitude. For her
Oh.
additional notes, ignore those people that keeps trying to lower your guard. Be confident and be proud of yourself.
Wow, definitely. We have to clap for that. Now, this is for Jana. I really believe in that, to not give up on your dreams. There will be people that will try to always bring you down, and there will be people in your life that will be a challenge for you. But even if times where you face those and and you feel like you're doubting yourself, always remember, Janet, that the only person that can really decide what your real value is yourself,
Yourself, right?
not anybody else.
Right. For our next entry,
Ooh.
here
Oh, it's from Miles Morales. Okay, that's cool. Really cool name.
it's also an advice.
Oh, okay, let's read it. Ano po advice niyo sa mga taong wala pang experience sa love? I feel lonely kasi and I've tried dating apps before. I never really felt a connection. Whether there's someone who's interested in me, I feel like fleeting in that moment. It's like I want this, but at the same time, I don't. When I think about relationships, the first thing that comes to mind is constant conflict. Thank you.
An advice from a person who hasn't experienced love. So you're just like me. So sometimes I do feel lonely too, but not to the point that I question if I deserve it. You know, being not in a relationship, you should never question if you deserve love because love can not only be found in relationships. You could found it by yourself. You can found it in yourself rather. And you know, um, you should not push yourself into getting in a relationship just to feel being loved. And it says here that whenever there's someone who's interested in you, you feel like fleeting in that moment. I think it's better to flee, especially if you're not ready yet. Or, I mean, just for my own opinion, being in that situation, if you don't if you're not sure about it, just don't do it yet. Okay? Because I think there's still you should focus on yourself first if that's how you feel. Okay? Well,
I have a confession to make.
okay, other
But before that, bringing what Mel said earlier about dating apps. Have you tried dating apps before?
apps.
Oh,
Just like
okay.
let me explain myself first, okay?
Okay.
Just like what I have said earlier, I'm not into entertaining things like that
Yeah.
as this, phase of my life. But I haven't yet. Yet. Okay. I haven't tried it yet. How about you?
On the contrary.
Oh no.
I'm really sorry, okay?
Okay, go on. It's alright.
Okay, people, okay, I'm gonna explain myself.
Okay, go
Especially
on.
people around my age, we tend to get really lonely, And there are times where we start to feel alone and trying to find something. I tried to in my previous school, in
Okay.
high school. I didn't really like anyone, so I tried to try dating apps. I'm really sorry. You guys might be familiar with these dating apps. I don't. Is it fine if we mention the apps?
I think it's fine.
Okay. Okay.
Go
I've been
on.
really saying this. It's really embarrassing, but I've tried lit match before.
What?
Lit match.
Okay.
Do you know that?
No.
Okay, I didn't take it seriously though. It was just for fun. I
Yeah.
was just like rambling about stuff
Yes.
and saying I thought that would be a great way to meet new people
Yes.
and like try to learn about them and stuff like that. Okay, if you ask me what's the result of doing that?
How did things
It's so
go?
traumatizing. I'm sorry. It's so traumatizing. Guys, don't do that. If you're watching this and if you're ever planning to try dating apps, please know what you're getting yourself into, okay?
Okay, for our next entry, we have here is from I don't know how to properly pronounce it. Sia, a confession, and she said here, Happy Valentine's, my Jiro. Stay strong to us. More gastos and a way to come. I love you, Be.
Shout
Okay.
out for Sia and
Jiro, hello. Enjoy Valentine's.
Yes.
For our next entry, we still have two more to go. And
We have from Ricky. So Ricky's entry is a rant. If you guys are not happy anymore in your relationship, stop it. A long distance relationship is not for the weak. LOL. By the way, when is my turn for love? It's always yung mga kasabay ko sa jeepney na hindi ko na ulit makikita. I'll call it destiny if I met him again. Sana. Ooh.
Okay, I'm going to ask you this question, Jay. What do you think about long distance relationships?
Okay, Okay, long distance relationships.
What do you think about that?
I think it would be better to focus on yourself. Yeah, but there are instances where long distance relationships works naman.
Right.
You know, when people would, let's say, if you and your partner trust each other and you guys depend on each other, you know, and stuff like that, I don't think there would be a problem. You know, but I do understand what I know. You know, this person is trying to say because not long distance really is not for the weak. There's so many challenges that you will have to face, and it's really, it's really hard. But if I would have to ask you, would you prefer if you had a relationship with someone and you had a partner, and you guys would have to be on a long distance relationship? Would you keep that relationship or would you break it off like this person did?
It depends, actually.
Oh,
Well, I think in long distance relationship, trust is the most important thing about that.
definitely.
And the actual relationship, when you have each other on your side, it's already a hard thing. How
Yeah.
much more when you're away from each other, right?
Yeah.
So I think I would still prefer. I would not prefer long distance relationship.
Yeah.
As
Okay.
you said,
Definitely.
it's not for the weak. So I'm weak, so it's not for me.
Guess it depends on the person, yeah?
Yeah. Also
Okay.
here, he said that it's always yung mga sabay ko sa Chini na hindi ko na ulit nakikita.
Do you relate?
Yes.
Do you relate in that?
Well, I think I sometimes relate on it
Mm.
when I find someone attractive on, I feel infatuated on the person that I meet somewhere. I think it's still destiny,
Mm.
not only romantically, but the persons that we meet in your life, it's all destiny. I believe in that.
Yeah, okay.
And next for our last question.
For last, we have
Yuan. Hi, Yuan.
Okay. So this person's entry is a rant. I want to shout out my two longtime friends at Dash 17. Oh, Dash 17. Hey guys. I hope na matuloy na yung sleepover this year. Study well mga sisters. I-mention po sana na nag-iipon na sila sa nakaplanong beach resort outing namin. Ooh, baka kasi maging drawing na naman.
I
Yeah.
love that song. Love does not only covers romantic relationships. Some loves were better found in friendships.
Yes, actually.
Can you share some of your experiences about the moments that you enjoy with your friends and you realize that you love them as your friend?
There was this time back in high school where I had my friends with me. When we had pandemic, right? And we shifted to face-to-face classes. Back when face-to-face was starting, I didn't really plan on having friends because I was really scared. Like I felt like I wouldn't really make any friends with people. And then those people, my friends, we're still friends till this day. I met them. And I guess you can say it's the most unexpected things in life that's coming to you. And yeah, I realized that as time goes by, we were always there for each other, always trying to bring each other up. And I believe that that itself is also a way to express your love.
Well, I will also want to share this experience of mine. I'm the type of a person that only have a few friends. I mean, few but best friends, and I'm very thankful to have them. You guys know who you are, and the moments that you feel like you're alone, but they know it and they make you feel loved, and they make you feel like you deserve to be loved, like that. And yeah, friendships is a gift, so treasure it.
So, before we move on, the impacts and understanding of relationships. Was there instances where you had conflicts when it comes to understanding your relationship or your relationship dynamic with someone?
Yes. I think this covers my relationship with my friends or even to myself and to my family. But I would share this instances when I don't understand my friends or we have misunderstandings. And I think when you misunderstand something or misunderstand someone, it's very important to talk about it and just to clear things out. How about if they really don't mean that everything that you've understand. You know, things could get complicated if you don't clear things out. But I think this talks about love language and how it impacts our relationship. So, how do you think love language impacts a relationship?
I feel like love languages can have a big benefit and understanding each other and also to more like when you understand your partner more, it will give you more information to how you can care for them and understand where things will went wrong and how to fix it. Now, jumping to the next one is applying it in reality.
So, what is the importance of showing appreciation to your partners or to your family, to your friends, and to yourself?
I feel like this would be a really, something that all of us should always do when it comes to our partners. People are always, like, especially when it comes to your partner or you sometimes might forget or, neglect the fact that you're always taking things for granted. So let's make sure to always show our appreciation.
And I think it's very important to show all the types of love languages, even it's not your forte, if I would say. Because what's important is you show them that you care for them, you make effort even with the smallest things. You know, it's the smallest things that matters, you know. And it's very important that love should not be forced, and it comes out very naturally when you love someone, and that five languages will naturally come out.
It's funny you mentioned that because actually for me, there are times where a friend of mine told me a story about how I always like doing this thing for me. She was ranting about how she would always do things for her friends, but not get the same thing in return. So I feel like it's a really good thing and something that all of us should be doing, especially to people watching this. Always appreciate the people you love. It's never too late. Okay, so moving now to let's do a little recap from everything we've talked about. Okay, so first, let's go back to love languages. I think it's a really important thing to understand each other, especially if you guys have different love languages and how you can express it in your own.
Yes, it makes relationships smoother when you guys know each other's love languages.
And in our identifying love languages is also a great way to understand the person more. And when it comes to exchanging love languages, I think it's a great way to make someone feel loved and feel like they matter.
And it must be always a two-way, around trip. If I would say that if you show love, you must also receive love. And I believe that sometimes there's some instances that even you're showing love, you might feel that you don't receive it, but still do what you feel, because yeah, just do what you feel, guys.
And coming to the fact that healthy relationships and ways to improve your relationship is also communication. That's why it matters, right? So yeah, so maybe that sounds about it.
And I think that wraps it up. And I hope that you guys enjoy it. And thank you for listening. And yes, and I hope that you guys have a fun Valentine's, not only with your partners, but even with your friends, with your family, and yourself. Don't forget to wait with the next English Society's podcast. We're coming back for you, and that's it.
Thank you so much for staying with us. I'm Jay,
I'm Erica,
and this is
Late Night Talks with Asa. Bye bye.
bye. Thank you.